Good evening, everyone on Facebook. We are in Midtown Mobile, just off of Government Boulevard. And let me get out of the way so you can kind of see what we're looking at here. We've got about 4 Mobile fire trucks, along with a number of Mobile police officers. Because of the home on the other side of the fire truck that's right in front of you, there was a house fire that started inside. We talked to a single witness who said his friend was inside, and there started to become a smell of smoke. What may have started that fire is not necessarily known at this point. However, one of the neighbors did tell us that his friend was able to get out of the home. However, you can see this was a situation that Mobile Fire and Police took very seriously. They have sent a number of crews. In fact, you have parts of this neighborhood, which I'm trying to find the name of the road. It's like Palmetto Street, where they have actually shut this road down. These lights are still flashing. Thankfully, there's no sirens. You can see another fire truck that's actually making its way out of here right now. But you're looking at about a half dozen fire trucks that have arrived on this scene, along with Mobile Police. Some of the neighbors here kind of come out to see what all the commotion is. We have an ambulance that did have a stretcher out earlier, but what we've been told, again, this has not been confirmed by Mobile Fire or Mobile Police, is that that stretcher was not necessary at the time. However, it was in the ready in case if someone had been injured inside of this home. Now, to describe this street itself, we're talking about one of those old Mobile streets where you have a number of older, beautiful homes right next to each other with those giant, tall oaks, along with some palm trees and magnolias. So it makes almost a canopy around the road, which is why we're bringing this to you right now on WKRG's Facebook page, because we don't have the capability right now of getting a mast up into the sky and sending a signal out to kind of describe all what's going on. Now, what we're looking at right now is officers that continue to be looking around. In fact, I'm going to walk you over here to this other side, and you can see that you got a couple ambulances, another fire truck back over on this way. And then as we head back to the house, you can see some of those firefighters starting to make their way out of the home. So obviously a very serious situation based on the number of trees that are in the area, based on the proximity of one home to the next. Firefighters kind of coming in and making their way in and out. I see D. Rockmore suggesting Midtown along Dolphin Sage Old Shell. It's actually off of Government Street near Palmetto. I can't really give you much of a description. Yes, off Government Street, where this fire took place. We've also got some fire investigators I see that are starting to make their way in. They will be the ones that to determine what may have caused this evening's fire. We have some police officers now that are also talking to some firefighters and neighbors that are just right here in front of us. So how this all came about was around 9:40 or so. There was a first alarm that was sent out to Mobile Fire that there was a fire here in Midtown. They arrived on the scene, and then a second alarm went out. A second alarm meaning another rotation of police and firefighters to come in. It looks like we're about to go live on TV, so if you'll just hold with us on Facebook, I'm going to go and start talking on TV. We need to do a mic check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. I'm doing a mic check on TV, I believe. Please bear with me, folks that are joining us here on Facebook Live. Well, good evening. I apologize for the way this information is coming to you right now, but you're looking at a Midtown 2-alarm house fire that broke out just around 20 minutes ago. There are a number of fire trucks along with Mobile Police in the area. A lot of that having to do with the fact that these houses are so close in proximity to each other, not to mention there's a number of large trees in the area. So what we have learned thus far is that this is a 2-alarm house fire, that the homeowner who was inside at the time of the fire was able to get out and get out safely. We got that information from a neighbor here, but we're still trying to get more information. We hope to bring that to you either this evening or tomorrow on our morning show. For now, reporting live in Midtown Mobile, I'm Jason, part of WKRG News 5. For those of you who are just tuning in, may have noticed it seemed like maybe the cadence and information was just changing. What we were doing was talking briefly on WKRG's News 5 at 10 o'clock to kind of share what little information we have. In fact, if you're just now joining us, We are looking at a 2-alarm house fire in Midtown Mobile. We do understand that the resident inside was able to get out, but there is still a number of fire trucks, ambulances, and mobile police in the area. So we're hoping to kind of get a grasp of what's happening. In fact, I'm going to walk a little bit closer. Oh, we've got a gentleman from Mobile Fire and Rescue that can hopefully share some information with us. His name's Stephen Millhouse. How you doing, Mr. Millhouse?
How are you?
Anything you can share with us about what happened tonight?
Yeah, at about 9:23 p.m., we received a call for a residential fire. There were smoking flames visible from the roof when we arrived. The fire has since been successfully extinguished, no reported injuries to civilians or firefighters, and the cause of the fire is currently under investigation. The investigator is here right now.
There are a number of fire trucks. Does that have a lot to do with the houses as well as the trees being kind of so close to each other?
Mostly it had to do with the size of the structure, multi-story home, and the flames were visible from the roof when we arrived. So as command arrived on scene, they immediately called for a second alarm for additional manpower. That explains the number of units here today.
Wow, this is impressive. Tell me a little bit about the involvement of Mobile Police in a situation like this, because I see a number of officers here as well.
PD usually arrives on the scene for any residential fire, mostly for traffic control. As the fire crews are on scene tending to the residential structure, PD will block the area for us to make sure that no passerbys come through in the area and try to just pass immediately by the dangerous environment.
But I guess good news, no one was hurt.
Correct.
No firefighters were hurt.
Absolutely. No injuries reported at this time, and the cause of the fire is currently under investigation.
Steve Millhouse, thank you so much for everything you do. We appreciate it, sir. Have a good evening. All right, again, you just heard from Mobile Fire's Steve Millhouse to kind of give us a recap of what we have learned about this fire. House did have some flames coming out of the roof that caused for a number of fire trucks to make their way here to kind of secure the residents and make sure people were safe. Everyone was able to get out. No firefighters were injured along the way, so it's really kind of a good news story, but again, definitely a scary situation there as you have flames pouring out of the top of the roof with so many trees and houses close by that wanted to make sure that everyone was okay. So I'm just going to kind of give you one more scan of what this looks like here off of Government Street near Palmetto Street. Let you know, again, everybody is okay. Of course, some concerned neighbors checking on the area to make sure everything's okay, but good news. And we're gonna wrap things up here on Facebook Live, reporting live from Midtown Mobile. This is Jason Carter, WKRG News 5.